Women in modern America and the world. So, looking at inequalities in the workplace, we see new opportunities, but also some inequalities that continue in women's labor. Uh, Women continue to make up over half of the American workforce. There's obviously a lot of gains that have been made in women in um, the businesses and um, entering new or previously male-dominated fields. I think a lot of this is discussed in the chapter, and we see some of this as opportunities for women that have come because of affirmative action programs, helping women get into fields and colleges that they normally would have been excluded from or had a harder time getting into previously. But we still continue to see inequalities for women, particularly the pay gap in the workforce, the fact that women continue to occupy a lot of the lowest paying and fields of labor. Women tend to have to work more to have to be able to support their families. It's kind of seen that women continue to have sort of two full-time jobs, especially if they choose to have children. And there tend to still be very male-dominated fields that women have a harder time getting into. So we definitely see some inequalities in the economic sector and in the labor force, despite some of these gains as well. In marriage and family, one social commentator has called that women have been called to now be the superwoman, and that they sort of fall into this pit of feeling like they have to do it all. They have to have a career, have to be on top of their career, and getting promotions and moving to the top, while also being a super mom to their children, and going to soccer games and being on the PTA and being super involved in their children's lives. And there's sort of this women fall into trying to do it all. But we also see more commonly, by choice or more trends that we see in marriage and family life in the 2000s. We still see women marrying later, and many, couples choosing not to have children at all. In terms of LGBTQ rights, some significant gains for sure when the Supreme Court ruled in 2015 that same-sex marriage was a fundamental right in Obergefell versus Hodges. So that was a tremendous gain there. And we're seeing some more gains in transgender visibility and rights as well. But obviously there are still statewide actions being made to derail and put dents into some of these gains, some of these LGBTQ gains. As far as immigration goes, immigrant women have been significant in the workforce in our growing globalized economy around the world, but also in the United States in the labor market. These immigrant women tend to have some of the hardest working jobs, long pay for really little compensation, low wages. And this continues to be an issue that the women's movement needs to address. That compounded with the anti-immigrant sentiment that seems to be plaguing this kind of dual cultural war that we see going on right now, makes it harder for immigrant women trying to come into this country and then being able to thrive and provide a good life for themselves, for their families, for future generations. So that's where we end it. And there's a lot that can be said about the gains that women have made, since the beginning of, this course. But we obviously see a lot of areas where women continue to be failed by society, unrecognized, uncompensated, um, and belittled. That we will probably see, hopefully more tremendous gains in the next 50 years too.